Glowing star, what if the secret to strong, steady legs was already within your reach, but hidden in plain sight? Herb, imagine waking up each morning, feeling the earth beneath your feet, steady and assured, no fear of falling, no weakness, only strength. High voltage sign, if your body could speak, it would beg for these 7 gifts of nature, the very foundation of lasting vitality. Behold! The 7 noble vitamins, gifts from the earth, that possess the power to transform your very steps. Envision, if you will, rising each morning not with uncertainty or trembling limbs, but with strength coursing through your legs like rivers of vitality. No longer shall frailty burden your steps, no more shall spasms twist your nights into restless torment, and never again shall you fear the next misstep or stumble. If you long to remain vigorous in your golden years, self-reliant, confident, and unshaken, the secret lies not in mere chance, but in the nourishment you provide your temple. Today, we unveil 7 of the most potent elixirs nature has ever crafted, vitamins and minerals that do not merely support your legs but fortify them like stone. From renewing the fire in your muscles to reinforcing the foundation of your bones and breathing new life into your blood flow, these essential nutrients hold the potential to restore the freedom of movement you once took for granted. Whether you delight in strolling through sunlit parks, dancing with unrestrained joy, or simply savoring the independence of rising from your chair with ease, this is the knowledge your body craves. This visual feast is not just a message, it is a mission to reignite your strength and mobility. But before we dive into the depths of this healing wisdom, I ask of you, from where do you join me today? Share your voice in the comments below, let your presence be known, and your questions be heard. And while your spirit is open, let not your memory falter, press the subscribe button, and awaken the bell of notification, that you may never miss a single word of wisdom from Health 365, your faithful guide to vitality. Let us journey together, forging a future not of fear, but of strength and unity, where wellness reigns and confidence returns. Now, let us begin with the first of these mighty champions, vitamin D. As the sands of time fall, our human frame undergoes changes both subtle and profound. Muscles once taut begin to soften. Bones, once as sturdy as ancient oaks, begin to surrender their strength. Movements once effortless become burdensome, simple walks feel like long journeys, and stairs loom like mountains. Among the countless reasons for this shift, one stands above the rest, a silent thief, named deficiency. Vitamin D. A name so simple, yet a force so vital. This humble nutrient is not merely about maintaining sturdy bones, it is a guardian of your balance, a protector of muscle strength, and a lifeline for leg function. Without it, we weaken, not only in body but in freedom. As the years pass, our skin becomes less capable of drawing this vital vitamin from the sun's radiant embrace. To compound this, our elders spend fewer moments beneath the open sky, confined indoors by frailty, limited mobility, or fear of the sun's burn. The result? A widespread deficiency that quietly steals the strength from our muscles and leaves our legs vulnerable to tremors, to weakness, and to devastating falls. When the body is starved of vitamin D, a silent weakening begins, one that gnaws away at the strength of muscle, rendering the limbs feeble, the steps uncertain, and the balance brittle. What was once dismissed as just aging often hides a deeper cause. Scientific inquiry, time and again, has illuminated a powerful truth: low levels of vitamin D are intricately linked with muscle frailty and a sharply increased risk of falls, especially in our seniors. Research published in the esteemed Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism confirms that elders who maintain sufficient levels of vitamin D exhibit markedly better muscular strength, sharper coordination, and a steadier balance, each attribute acting as a shield against injury, fracture, and immobility. In contrast, those deficient in this golden nutrient see their muscle mass diminish rapidly, turning the simple act of rising from a chair or ascending a stairway into a strenuous ordeal. But the reach of vitamin D extends beyond bone health or calcium absorption. It is, in truth, a key player in muscle function, facilitating the creation of protein and fine-tuning the delicate conversation between nerves and muscle fibers. Think of it as fuel for your legs. Without it, those muscles cannot perform their sacred duty, no matter how much you will them to. This nutrient is especially vital for the maintenance of fast-twitch muscle fibers, the very ones responsible for quick reactions and agile balance. These are the fibers that stop a stumble from becoming a fall, that catch you when your footing slips. Yet when vitamin D runs low, these fibers wither, responses slow, strength wanes, and the danger of serious injury rises. Even more compelling, vitamin D has been shown to reduce inflammation in the muscles and joints, soothing chronic aches, reducing cramps, softening stiffness, and alleviating mysterious leg pain that often plagues the elderly. For many, simply restoring healthy vitamin D levels brings astonishing relief and freedom of movement. To neglect this essential nutrient is not merely to invite weakness. It is to court a host of deeper ailments. Among the most alarming is the erosion of bone strength, for without vitamin D, even calcium, so vital for the skeleton, cannot be absorbed properly. Bones become brittle, fragile, and prone to fracture from even the lightest stumble. What would once be a minor misstep becomes a life-altering injury, diminishing independence, vitality, and self-worth. Yet the threat does not end with bones. A prolonged deficiency in vitamin D is also associated with increased risk of cardiovascular disease, mental decline, and a weakened immune system. For those in their later seasons of life, these risks compound quickly, pulling down quality of life and hastening physical and emotional decline. So what, then, is the solution? The good news is this: raising your vitamin D levels is one of the simplest and most powerful health decisions you can make. And the benefits extend far beyond stronger legs. They can transform how you move, how you rest, how you live. Begin with the sun. Just 15 to 30 minutes of gentle morning or late afternoon sunlight upon your skin, your arms, your legs, can help your body awaken this precious nutrient. But be mindful, sunscreen, while protective, may hinder this natural synthesis, so balance is key. Next, turn to your plate. Foods like salmon, sardines, mackerel, egg yolks, mushrooms, and vitamin D, a fortified dairy or plant milks are rich in this elixir of strength. While diet helps, it's often not enough, especially for seniors who venture outside less frequently or whose skin absorbs sunlight less efficiently. That's why supplementation is often essential. Experts recommend a daily intake of 800 to 1000 IU, though some may require more depending on their condition, always under the guidance of a trusted physician. A simple blood test can reveal your vitamin D levels and steer you toward a personalized plan for restoration. Now let us turn our gaze to another guardian of strength, calcium. Oh, calcium, silent builder of bone, essential keeper of muscular command. For the young, bones are in constant renewal, but as the years advance, that renewal slows. Bone density declines, and with it, the structural integrity that once made movement effortless. Without enough calcium, bones become vulnerable to fractures, hips shatter, femurs crack, and stress fractures along the legs become more than an inconvenience, they become debilitating. A simple trip, which might once have been brushed off in youth, can now lead to weeks, or even months, of recovery. In some cases, mobility is lost altogether. But calcium is not only for bones. It plays a pivotal role in muscle contraction. Every motion, whether lifting a toe or rising to your feet, is choreographed by calcium ions dancing through your muscles. When this vital element is lacking, the muscles rebel. Cramping, twitching, and a general sense of weakness take hold, eroding one's confidence in movement. Many who suffer frequent leg cramps, slow gait, or muscular fatigue are unknowingly battling a calcium shortfall. The solution, thankfully, lies within reach. To ensure your body receives the full bounty of calcium, variety is your greatest ally. While dairy delights such as milk, yogurt, and cheese are among the most recognized sources, they are far from the only ones. Nature, in her kindness, has scattered calcium across a wide array of foods: deep green leafy vegetables like kale and bok choy, the humble almond, soft tofu, ocean treasures like sardines, and plant-based milks fortified with calcium, all offer a splendid array of this vital mineral. True health lies not in dependence on a single food, but in diversity. By weaving these sources into your daily meals, you create a nutritional tapestry rich in the very elements that strengthen your bones and muscles. Yet for some, food alone may not suffice. Dietary restrictions, digestive difficulties, or poor absorption can all interfere with proper calcium intake. This is where calcium supplements earn their place, especially when taken in tandem with vitamin D, which enhances the body's ability to absorb calcium efficiently. Still, let us tread carefully. More is not always better. An overabundance of calcium, especially from concentrated supplements, may lead to unwanted consequences: arterial deposits, kidney stones, or digestive discomfort. The goal is not excess, but balance. A daily intake of 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams is generally recommended for older adults, ideally drawn from both food and supplemental support when needed. But there is another piece of the puzzle, one often overlooked: movement. Even with perfect calcium intake, if your body is sedentary, bones remain fragile. The magic happens when you move. Weight-bearing exercises, walking, light jogging, resistance training, stimulate the renewal of bone tissue. They guide calcium to its proper destination, into the bones, not left to drift aimlessly in the bloodstream. To neglect movement is to deny calcium its purpose. And in doing so, you also deny yourself the freedom to walk, to reach, to rise, to live independently. The foundation of a mobile, purposeful life is built on bones that are resilient and muscles that respond, both of which depend on calcium's presence and your body's commitment to motion. Now, as we transition from bones to nerves, let us illuminate a nutrient too often forgotten in the conversation of leg health: vitamin B12. Though commonly associated with energy and cognition, B12 plays a monumental role in neuromuscular function, the communication network between your brain, your spinal cord, and your limbs. Without it, the electrical signals that command your muscles weaken, scatter, or fail to transmit entirely.
Scatter, or fail to transmit entirely. What follows is all too familiar: limbs that feel heavy or weak, sensations of tingling or numbness, a wavering gait, a loss of balance that cannot be explained by age alone. Many seniors suffer these symptoms without ever realizing that a simple, preventable deficiency is to blame. Vitamin B12 deficiency is especially prevalent among older adults. Why? Because the body's ability to absorb B12 hinges on a healthy digestive system, one that produces enough stomach acid and a special protein called intrinsic factor. But with age, stomach acid diminishes. Conditions like gastritis, reflux, and long-term use of antacids further impair B12 absorption. To make matters worse, many elderly diets are low in B12-rich foods. The result is a slow but relentless decline, a fraying of the nervous system's threads, leading to worsening balance, delayed reflexes, and muscle control that begins to slip away. But here is the good news: this process is entirely reversible. Restoring B12 levels can have a dramatic impact on mobility, strength, and endurance. Numerous studies have shown that older adults who correct B12 deficiencies see noticeable improvements in leg function, steadiness, and even energy levels. It is not too late, even if the decline has already begun. But where does B12 come from? Unlike many nutrients that dwell in the plant kingdom, vitamin B12 resides almost exclusively in animal-based foods. The richest sources include lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, shellfish, especially clams and liver. For those who follow a plant-based lifestyle, or whose bodies struggle with absorption, fortified cereals and plant milks may help. Still, many will need a B12 supplement, or even periodic injections, to meet their needs. Thankfully, B12 is water-soluble, meaning the body flushes out any excess through the urine. This makes it generally safe to take in higher doses, especially under medical guidance. Routine blood testing is the wisest course to determine your levels and ensure balance. And for those who already experience symptoms like unsteady walking or unexplained fatigue, testing is not optional, but essential. Yet the deeper truth is this: robust legs require more than physical strength, they require neurological integrity. Your ability to move gracefully, react swiftly, and remain upright in challenging terrain is rooted in your nerves. If the nerves are weak, the muscles cannot obey. No matter how strong your desire is, your limbs will not respond as they once did. To reclaim your full mobility, your full independence, your full strength, you must nourish your nerves as well as your muscles. And vitamin B12 is your greatest ally in this quest. As we continue our journey to restore strength and sovereignty to your legs, let us turn to another quiet hero, magnesium. While it may not be the most talked about mineral, it is undeniably one of the most essential. With every step you take, every contraction and release of your muscles, magnesium is there, working behind the scenes to ensure fluid motion, resilience, and control. It is the silent conductor of your muscles' symphony, preventing spasms, reducing fatigue, and bolstering endurance when the body would otherwise falter. And yet, far too many suffer from its absence without even knowing its name. Restless leg syndrome, midnight cramps, sudden jolts of pain, these are not random afflictions. They are signs. They are whispers from your body that your magnesium reserves are running low. For many seniors, night after night is disturbed by sharp contractions that rob them of restful sleep and leave them weary before the day has even begun. But magnesium does more than calm the muscles' unrest.
What's more, magnesium is a critical partner to calcium. Though calcium often steals the spotlight for bone health, it cannot do its job properly without the guidance of magnesium. Magnesium ensures calcium flows where it's needed, into the bones, not the soft tissues. Without this direction, calcium may settle in joints and arteries, causing stiffness, inflammation, or worse. Studies now confirm what ancient healers sensed: magnesium-rich bodies have stronger bones and a lower risk of fractures, even in advanced age. And yet, magnesium is also one of the most commonly depleted minerals in seniors. Why? Because stress, poor diet, certain medications, like diuretics, blood pressure pills, and antacids, and modern eating habits all drain magnesium from the body. What begins as a subtle lack becomes a significant erosion of strength, balance, and endurance. The stairs get steeper. The walks grow shorter. Recovery from even small tasks takes longer. It is not merely age, it is a missing mineral. But here lies the hope: replenishing magnesium can bring almost immediate relief. Cramping diminishes. Movement becomes more graceful. Sleep deepens. Muscles regain their rhythm, and nerves resume their quiet control. The entire body feels as though it has awakened from a long slumber. And best of all, magnesium is abundant in natural, wholesome foods. Dark leafy greens, seeds and nuts, legumes, whole grains, black beans, pumpkin seeds, avocados, and almonds all offer a rich bounty of this essential mineral. Yet for those who struggle to absorb enough through diet alone, magnesium citrate or glycinate supplements, which are gentler and more bioavailable, can restore balance effectively and safely. Time and again, elders who suffered years of discomfort find surprising transformation simply by restoring this overlooked mineral. And with that, we come to another key player in the strength of legs and protection from cramps: potassium. Picture this: you rise from your slumber, and a sharp jolt tightens your calf muscle, an agonizing cramp that leaves you breathless. Sound familiar? This is the unmistakable cry of potassium deficiency. Potassium is the mineral steward of your body's fluid balance. It maintains equilibrium inside and outside every muscle cell. When levels fall, the harmony breaks. Muscles contract involuntarily. Painful cramps arise. And in those with poor circulation or diminishing muscle mass, these episodes become not just annoying, but dangerous. But muscle cramps are merely the beginning. When potassium runs low, the communication between brain and muscle begins to break down. Movements become jerky, less coordinated, delayed. The legs tremble after long periods of standing. You may feel unsure with every step, your feet dragging rather than rising with grace. The risk of falling rises not only because of weakness, but because the timing of movement itself is off. Few realize that potassium also plays an important role in maintaining bone health. It helps neutralize acids in the body that, over time, wear away at bone density. A potassium-rich diet has been linked to a slower loss of bone mass and a reduced risk of osteoporosis, a quiet but serious threat to leg strength in aging adults. Thus, potassium's reach extends beyond muscle function. It is essential to synchronized movement, structural integrity, and injury prevention. But how can you keep your potassium levels steady? Though bananas are the poster child of potassium, they are but one part of the story. Baked potatoes with the skin on, sweet potatoes, avocados, spinach, beans, oranges, these are powerful allies. In fact, a single baked potato contains more potassium than a banana. By embracing a variety of potassium-rich foods at every meal, you help your legs move with confidence and ease. You give your bones the support they crave. You restore rhythm, reaction, and resilience. For those whose diets cannot provide enough, or who face kidney or blood pressure concerns, potassium supplementation should only be pursued with medical guidance. But for most, nature provides more than enough, if only we know where to look. To ensure your legs thrive in harmonious strength, one must ask, how does one maintain a rich supply of potassium, the unsung mineral of muscular balance and bone vitality? Though bananas may first come to mind, they are merely the opening verse in a grander nutritional symphony. Sweet potatoes, avocados, dark leafy greens like spinach, humble legumes, beans, and the vibrant orange, all these natural treasures are brimming with the grace of potassium. In fact, one simple baked potato, skin on, delivers more potassium than a banana. Yes, nature hides her miracles in plain sight. The key lies in variety. Blend these foods into your daily meals and snacks to create a steady flow of nourishment, constantly rejuvenating your muscles and bones. In doing so, you weave a tapestry of health that sustains vitality day after day. For those who struggle to acquire enough potassium through food, perhaps due to appetite changes, dietary restrictions, or chronic conditions, supplements may be considered. But this too must be handled with care. The recommended daily intake is approximately 2,600 mg for women and 3,400 mg for men, a target often met through a well-balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and legumes. Yet caution must guide those with kidney disease or high blood pressure. For them, even essential minerals may become harmful in excess. Always consult a trusted physician before supplementing to ensure both safety and effectiveness. Now, while calcium and vitamin D often dominate the conversation about bone strength, there is a hidden champion whose role is just as vital: vitamin K. This humble nutrient rarely receives the spotlight, yet without it, even calcium cannot fulfill its noble purpose. Vitamin K acts as the body's internal guide, ensuring that calcium is deposited in the bones, where it belongs, instead of the arteries or soft tissues, where it can cause harm. Without sufficient vitamin K, the body may begin to misplace calcium, leading to rigid joints, arterial calcification, and potentially increased cardiovascular risk. But with vitamin K's guidance, calcium is directed home to the skeletal matrix, building stronger bones, preventing fractures, and maintaining mobility. For seniors, this becomes all the more critical. Research shows that those with higher vitamin K intake enjoy greater bone density, fewer fractures, and more robust movement. Why? Because vitamin K activates osteocalcin, a key protein that binds calcium to the bone matrix, making bones denser, more resilient, and better equipped to withstand the wear of time. But that's not all. Vitamin K also protects joints, reduces inflammation, and enhances muscle performance. Many of the aches in knees, the stiffness after rest, and the unsteadiness in walking may stem from a lack of this very nutrient. Studies suggest vitamin K supports neuromuscular harmony, helping muscles contract with coordination and strength, thereby reducing the likelihood of imbalance or falls. Where can you find this elusive ally? In two powerful forms. Vitamin K1, abundant in plants like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. Vitamin K2, found in fermented foods such as natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, egg yolks, and organ meats like liver. K2 is especially valuable as it lingers longer in the body and plays a crucial role in calcium transportation. Including a small daily serving of sautéed greens or adding kale to your smoothie may offer more benefit than you realize. For those unable to get enough through food, due to digestive issues or prolonged use of antibiotics, supplementation may be necessary. However, a word of warning, if you are taking blood thinners like warfarin, increasing your vitamin K intake must be done under medical supervision. Vitamin K impacts blood clotting, and changes in intake can interfere with medication. And finally, we arrive at the seventh pillar of strength, vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine. This quiet force does more for your legs than most realize. Vitamin B6 supports nerve health, helps the body build and repair muscle, and ensures that protein, the very building block of strength, is used effectively. Without it, even the strongest muscles may begin to weaken and fade. You may feel it first in the small ways, to little more effort to rise from a chair, more resistance climbing stairs, or a dull stiffness that seems to linger longer after activity. But what many interpret as simple aging may in fact be the early signs of B6 deficiency. The link between B6 and nerve function is profound. This vitamin helps regulate the messages that travel between your brain and your body, messages that dictate movement, reaction, coordination. Without enough B6, these signals grow slow or erratic, leading to numbness, tingling, or an unsteady gait. But B6 also helps in fighting inflammation. It calms the immune system when it overreacts, reducing muscle soreness, enhancing flexibility, and speeding recovery after movement. And it supports the creation of hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen to your muscles. Without it, fatigue sets in fast, muscles tire easily, and endurance fades. So where does one find this precious vitamin? It is scattered generously through both animal and plant sources: chicken, salmon, tuna, potatoes, chickpeas, bananas, and fortified cereals. These everyday foods, when woven into your meals, can gradually rebuild your strength. Yet for some, especially those with digestive troubles or limited diets, B6 supplements may be essential. The recommended intake is modest, around 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men daily. But take care not to overdo it, as extremely high doses over long periods may harm the nerves rather than help them. The goal, as always, is balance, a steady intake through natural, nourishing foods, and supplementation only when needed and guided by wisdom. So often, the seasoned soul misreads the quiet cries of the body, dismissing stiffness, fatigue, or numbness as mere consequences of age. But what if these signs were not the decay of time, but the whispers of a body deprived of essential nourishment, of a nervous system crying out for vitamin B6, that subtle but mighty force of coordination and resilience? Beyond its role in nerve function and muscle strength, B6 wields another powerful gift, the ability to tame inflammation. It calms the fires that smolder deep within the muscles, reducing pain, easing stiffness, and granting the legs a newfound flexibility and endurance. For those who feel soreness linger too long or recovery arrive too slowly after even gentle activity, the answer may lie not in rest alone, but in restoration. But that's not all. Vitamin B6 plays a crucial role in the creation of hemoglobin, the protein in your red blood cells that carries oxygen to your muscles. Without enough B6, the body's supply of hemoglobin dwindles. The muscles, starved of oxygen, begin to tire easily, falter quickly, and recover slowly. If you felt unusually drained after a brief walk, if the lightest activity leaves your legs heavy, this may be your body's plea for more B6. Fortunately, this elixir is easy to find if you know where to look. B6 is abundantly present in the gifts of land and sea: tender chicken, fatty fish like salmon and tuna, golden potatoes, creamy chickpeas, sweet bananas, and fortified cereals. These everyday foods, woven regularly into your meals, can restore your B6 levels naturally, reinforcing your muscles, nerves, and oxygen flow with every bite. But for those whose bodies face digestive challenges, or whose diets are restricted, supplements may become not just helpful, but necessary. The daily needs are small: 1.5 milligrams for women, 1.7 milligrams for men, yet their impact is profound. Still, as with all things powerful, balance is key. B6, though safe in food-based forms, should not be consumed in high doses for long periods without guidance. Too much, taken in supplement form over time, may ironically damage the very nerves it aims to protect. The wisest course lies in a balanced diet, drawn from nature's abundance, and supported by supplementation only when truly needed. Let us not forget, your legs are not merely tools for motion. They are the pillars of your independence, the foundation of your freedom. Every vitamin we've spoken of, every mineral, every meal, has one purpose: to return to you the confidence, stability, and strength that is your birthright. And so, if this message has stirred something within you, if you felt seen, understood, or inspired, we ask just one small act in return. Click the like button, it helps more than you know. Leave a comment and share your thoughts, your journey, or what you'd like us to explore next. We read each one, and they truly bring us joy. And above all, press subscribe and ring the bell, so that you never miss the health wisdom, strength strategies, and encouragements that await you here at Health 365. Remain vigilant. Care for your vessel. And know this: you are not fading, you are rising again. Stronger, wiser, and more capable than ever. Until next time, be well, and walk forward with strength.